Basi.
Kila mtu wako rasmi. Mchende hizi tutasaidia hizi.
Millet is a group of small-seeded grasses which is cultivated throughout the world for human consumption. Its ability to grow in relatively harsh, arid and dry environments makes it a highly versatile crop. Millet is enriched with the goodness of magnesium, which can effectively reduce blood pressure and risk of stroke and heart attacks. Finger millet is a valuable source of food and income for thousands of families across Uganda.
My name is Bargari Kenneth Katwaza, a resident of Cabbage Beach, Tondi, Ungakajara, Tungamo district. When I was born, I found my parents were growing millet, and we are eating millet and even taking it as a porridge. So I grew up taking millet, and up to now I'm still taking millet for both porridge and food. Millet has market, only that many people are not growing it, but for the market we have now, during harvesting time, you find the kilogram is at 1,500, but it keeps on rising up to 3,000 when it's not added value, as when you sell a seed or a grain. So people, we have a market for millet because many people are consuming it in the towns for both porridge. So there are some people who are packing porridge and flour for both kids and other old people. So there is a market outside and in the town and even in nearby homesteads, because they don't all grow millet due to the problems of land and what have you. You will keep on monitoring. Then when it starts, you keep on checking. Then you monitor where you see that it has reached its maturity. Then when it has reached its maturity, many varieties, you see the seeds. You find the seeds, you can even identify them. Then after that, you get your knives. We use it to harvest while heaping them in the field. Then at the end, you find it's when it rains, you find a millet where it was heaping it. It has already germinated. Then when these technologies came in, they told us that when we are going to harvest, we have to use these tarpaulins. You go with tarpaulins and sacks. We get our knives. Then you go there. You start picking, cutting of the old millet. You heap them in the garden. Then afterwards, current what we are using, we just load it using bicycles. And even our heads, we carry them to home for drying. But while we put them on tarpaulins, so you dry from. After drying, the millet, you just put it back in the sack. You tie it well. Then you take it in the store. But in the store, you have to put pallets, and you put pallets, and you make sure that there is a distance. There is some distance from the wall and from the other wall, so that the millet, the sack, couldn't get into contact with the wall, because it may suck some water and even the ground. So there you arrange the bags. You may arrange them like this. Then another line you put it like this. Then again you keep on alternating the bags in the store. I used this bed as my pallet because it is raised. It's not the sacks are there is a distance from the sacks and the wall, as I've been telling you. Then here I have 14 sacks with millet. They are arranged in this way that they can't fall. Because now these ones are facing this side, others are facing this side. Then you keep on alternating so that they can't fall when you have stored your millet. Then I left the space there between the wall and the bed, so that it becomes easier for me when I am cleaning the store. And even when you reach when you put the pallets there on the wall, you can allow these rats to enter into the store and eat your millet or your produce.
Oburoko bwayezire nkabanye n'abana banje nayitera habataka.
When millet is ready to be harvested, I go with my kids and some few neighbors together with my husband. We go to the garden with our baskets, sacks and knives. We start harvesting millet. We harvested 13 sacks in one day. We could not carry the sacks. We used bicycles and motorcycles home. Here we have the drying materials where our millet was dried and put in sacks. We lay bricks on the floor, and on top of the bricks we put timbers. Our dried millet is put in the sack, tied properly.
Twahereze kuteka hembaho zitu ibiri twaretede ya zitu ziriya zo burezi parking ziba ekazeri ziba zire zishonere twarambikaho twakwate ntundubare zitu nemihini.
Using 2 sticks we hit the sack. We know putting in the basket. When full, we put in the sack and off to the storage area. The use of bricks and wood and molding when the air passes through. This new method of farming is good. You use little seeds and you harvest a lot. We harvested 13 sacks of millet, yet we only used 2 kilograms.
We faced a lot of sunshine. It disturbed us. Some millet dried up. It could not even come out properly during germination. Then they were eaten by birds during germination. Birds were picking them. Then at the later stage, there are some of the diseases like rust. Rust came in before we sprayed. There were weeds. It was a challenge because we couldn't get a herbicide which we could spray after planting to kill weed seeds. So we faced a challenge of weeds. Then at the later stage, when our millet grown up, we faced a challenge of birds. I think this millet may be sweeter than other varieties because the birds like it very well. The birds and even some people, these animals like goats, they could enter there and start chopping the millet, eating our millet. So those are the challenges we faced.
Actually, the challenge is there because when you harvest tons and tons, you need storage. Like nowadays we are in the rain season, so there is a storage. Either they are keeping it in their household where they are staying instead of having granaries. So we have that challenge of storage. That's one. Secondly, with the millet, the prices they normally be low compared during the harvesting season compared to the other time. So the market is not all that good. So we need again to have a certain level of agro-processing and value addition. So where we can put maybe and process the porridge and we pack them, then we sell, we export.
Nevertheless, the millet dried at the planting good sunshine. Due to rains, we found it easy for us to transplant the millet. We transplanted the millet doing gap filling. We gap filled to cover the other places where it couldn't germinate well due to sunshine. During weeding, it was very easy for us to weed because we were 10. We did the half acre within 3 days. So we found it is very easy for us to weed the millet. And youth line is, what you have learned again, youth line is, you could go there slowly while monitoring the millet. You pass around following the lines. So we found it very easy during monitoring our garden. Another one what we learned, after addition of urea, the millet grows faster than the way it was growing before we add in urea. So it was growing vigorously. It was very dark in the garden, very green, dark green. Then at the end, after like 2 months, 2.5, during, I may call it flowering or tillaring, it came out very well because we planted one variety. It was uniform. There was uniformity in the garden. It came out well. You find a finger with 7. A cluster of 7 fingers, as it wasn't in our usual methods of growing millet, because we used to have 2, 3. But this one we had 5 to 7 fingers. Then again, what we liked, we used to harvest the millet. You leave some millet there in the garden, but with this one, it grows, as I have told you, it grows very fast. It was uniform. Then you could find, during harvesting, we never left some millet in the field for birds. So we harvested once. And again, what we liked and what we learned, using fertilizers, because ladies used it to grow millet, and during harvesting, you find millet fall. But for this one, it was upright, standing. So during harvesting, what we have learned, we harvested while standing, the whole garden, and we enjoyed because we harvested within 2 days, the whole garden.
Harvesting should be done when the grains are hard, but before they dry so much. Delayed harvesting results in the chattering of the finger millet heads and therefore a huge loss of grain. Quick tips for planting finger millet in Uganda. We know the millet grains meant for planting if you are to use home-kept grains. The alternative would be washing the seeds in water, sieving off the floating seeds. After, ensure to dry them. Finger millet production is more on fine seed beds. Open up a shallow trench on a well-prepared land. The trenches can be dusted with germinating inoculants or fertilizers. Then spread the seeds thinly along the trench. Cover the seeds with soils to protect them from the external surface. Finger millet, scientifically referred to as Elusinicoracana, is an annual grass ground for its grain, which can be used for food or for brewing. Its straw can be used as an animal feed. Traditional methods are usually applied to decorticate millet grains, partially or completely, before further processing and consumption. Whole grains may as well be directly dry milled to give a range of products: broken or cracked grains, grits, coarse meal, and fine flour. Almost without exception, women do traditional milling and decorticating of millet. Pounding is washed, and the clean endosperm recovered is left for sun drying.
Now, since we started like 3 years back, we started training them. We got information. we trained them about the new technologies compared to the way they have been doing. As the principles in the extension work, where they say start where people are with what they have, help them to help themselves. So we started with what they are doing, practicing the traditional way. So eventually we trained them how to plant our millet using our new technologies. That is using improved seed, using planting in lines, soil and water management, weed control, spacing, that is planting in lines again, then pest and disease control, and as well as storage and proper harvesting.
Uganda, the land of sunshine. Breathtaking, stunning sights, incredibly extensive large greenery. Variety of wild animals and bird species. A wide range of luxury holiday facilities. Diverse, rich culture. The home of beautiful, welcoming, hospitable people. Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Here comes the 13th Kampala International Fix Festival 2019 from the 11th to 12th September at the Tower Cottages Hotel in Rubaga. 7 accolades are for grabs in the following categories: documentary, sport and society, Olympic spirit, sports and disability, sports movies, sports advert, TV and weblog category, and a special award for the APL award. This will be given to an outstanding individual or institution that has served or contributed greatly in the world of sports broadcasting and cinema. For those interested in contesting, pick up entry forms at UBC Broadcast House, Nile Avenue, or call 0780-791344 or 0782-258152. Deadline is on 4th September. The winners in each category will automatically qualify for the world final, the 37th Milano International Fix Fest 2019 in Italy, which attracts the best of the best globally. Join and let us celebrate culture through sport.
For the cabbages to germinate well, they need to be planted in more aerated soil, and in order to keep the soil moist, you need to have a thick layer of 15 centimeters to 20 centimeters deep. The cabbages should have a spacing of 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters for the smaller cabbages and 70 centimeters by 70 centimeters for the larger ones, as our expert explains.
What I want to share is about cabbage production, commercial production for cabbages, and what are the main specific things we think as a commercial grower you need to put in your mind to make a choice to buy or to really go into production. In your superior seed selection, what are you looking at? Are you able to reach the market using your seed? That's the marketability of your product. That is the key for us to think about. The other thing is the tolerance to diseases and pests. The main thing about that, if you look at this cabbage very, very well, is what I'm going to use as a benchmark. We look at what we call the high-level tolerance for pests and diseases. The main thing that will affect cabbages, especially in the dry season, is the white fly that causes the blight, and which is the main challenge for cabbage growers. This cabbage you see here, which is Tacoma RZF1, it has what we call the blue leaf technology, which makes it very, very less susceptible to diseases, and it gives you an edge during the dry season. But also in the rain season, we have those which are against the rot root disease. So it's very, very important to put those in consideration. But also the seasonality. If you want to benefit from the cabbage, you can decide to go for the dry season planting or the wet season planting. Those are key things to look at. But the other bit is about the yield and the maturity period. The yield comes into the uniformity. When you plant your cabbage, commercially we target what we call the family size. That is approximately 2.5 to 3 kilogram cabbage. This gives you the ideal for that, and it makes it very easy for you to be able to reach the market. The other bit is into when you're looking at your also production level, is looking at the maturity. You are looking at just 60 days after transplanting. Those are two months. So for a commercial grower, those are things you should really look at, and they should push you to the level of really being a commercial grower. But there is a niche that we think farmers should come to, what we call the traceability of a seed. If you reach for a good quality seed, can your supplier own back the responsibility in case you had any problem? So that's what we think is very, very important for any grower out there to put in consideration and to be able to harvest. So when you plant your cabbage, what are we considering as a take-home message for like a commercial grower? Look at planting 1 acre, how many do I need to put on? We are looking at around 12,500 plants. So if you look at the cost of the seed, it's a very low cost input. You need just 130,000 of seed, which is very, very low compared to the price-wise vis-a-vis the output. So we believe that is very, very important for anyone to benefit. Which you are able to take into the nursery stage for transplanting, and that happens at 3 weeks. From the 3 weeks to the other level, it is 60 days. That is the nursery process.
Uganda is gifted with warm climate, ample fertile soils and regular rainfall, which provides good conditions for farming. Agriculture has been for years forming the backbone of Uganda's economy, contributing approximately 37% of local growth, with 80% of the population practicing agriculture. Join us every Wednesday as we showcase comprehended and well-researched episodes on agriculture, on the new innovations, planting, harvesting, modern technologies, and more you would like to know in the farming field. Farm Matters, a program where all your farming needs are addressed.